Outreach Community Health Centers is proud to provide accessible and affordable health care for the entire family, regardless of insurance status. They offer complete primary care for children and infants, immunizations including COVID-19 vaccinations, booster shots, on-site pharmacy, dental care, mental health and emotional support, and more. Further services include assistance with baby items such as clothing, formula, diapers, help with transportation, and locating housing and employment. For more information, visit ochc-milw.org.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the program. Happy holiday weekend. Let's keep in mind what this holiday is about. It's not Veterans Day, Memorial Day, where we a tip of the cap to everyone who gave their lives in defense of this country. Todd Bailing in Greendale, Wisconsin, joined by my two partners today, beginning with Brian Schmidt, who's up in beautiful Utzberg, Wisconsin. Hi, Brian.
Morning. Yeah, this is like Christmas morning here with the races. One race in the books already. Monaco Grand Prix is over. That was a 24-second butt whooping by Verstappen. Let's hope that's the only butt whooping we're going to see today. And the other two.
And, of course, our longtime partner and producer and co-host of the program, Dan Margetta of St. Francis, USA. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, feeling great. Like Brian said, this is a Christmas day for motorsports. In Monaco, Indy, Charlotte, and Slinger. I'll be at Slinger tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about four of the biggest events in the history of the universe, right? Monaco Formula race just ended. Indy is not far away. The World 600, Coca-Cola 600. Coverage starts right here on the Big 920 at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and the green flag is at 5:21. But, of course, set your VCR and listen on the radio, and we'll be at Slinger Speedway tonight for the E.H. Wolf & Sons Memorial Day special with fireworks tonight. It's one of those fireworks kind of a days, so we're looking forward to seeing you tonight. This is a big weekend, not just for the world of racing, but, of course, NASCAR in general, as we have the longest race of the year. There will be stages at lap 100, 200, and 300. Of course, it is a 400-lap race. Now, that being said, it's a long race. It's supposed to start at 5:20, and the forecast is terrible. I just have a bad feeling about it. We have already rained out the Xfinity race from yesterday. That was postponed until tomorrow at 11 on FS1. However, if today's race gets rained out, and right now we're looking at anywhere from a 70-80% chance it's going to rain, that's going to be tough to overcome. Now, they're going to have to re-juggle tomorrow's program around if they're going to intend to get a 400-lapper and a 200-lapper in on the same day. It's just going to be tough.
900 miles, that is.
Yeah, in one day.
Yes.
Some guys are running both races, unbelievably. So this, we'll just keep our fingers crossed that we can get. Can you imagine if we run, 40, 50 laps and then it rains and then we have to have the track drying effort and then we run another 100 laps and then it rains again? I just have bad feelings about this tonight. But
I sat through a couple of those.
What's that, Dan?
I sat through a couple of those where it rained a while and then we dry the track and it would rain again and dry the track.
Is that why you stopped going?
No, actually, I went for years, and then I wanted to go to the Indy 500 one time. I went in 2018. I said, I'm going to Indy. And then Vegas added their second date, and that kind of took the place of the 600 for me. It was the second Vegas race. But in 2000, it rained and we stopped, and it rained and it stopped, and it was a real late night, and Kenseth won his first race. So, I mean, it's happened before. We've gone all night there.
It was late, too. I know, because we had just finished at Slinger that night. And
I would imagine those Xfinity teams are really hoping that they get this Cup race in tonight and they don't get pushed back on Monday even more, because if you look at the schedule, the longest trip in the entire season for any of NASCAR's series is next week, when the Xfinity guys got to go all the way out to Portland, Oregon for Saturday race. So, fortunately, their shops aren't far from where they're at right now, but still, the turnaround this is a nightmare situation for them right now.
By now, you have noticed you are not hearing Ed Kaluka's voice on the program. Ed is still under the weather. Our best to him as he tries to feel a little better, and we can have him on in the future. But right now, we're just thinking about you, Ed, and hoping everything turns around. If you'd like to participate in this program, you can do so at 414-421-7901, and we'd love to hear from you about anything having to do with the world of racing. NASCAR is our specialty, but of course we listen to people vent about other sports at times, I guess. We do cover some dirt racing and short track racing towards the end of the program, and you're invited to stick around for the whole ball of wax. We'd love to have you. Alex Bowman is back today. He is back in his own car after essentially breaking his back, right? I mean, that was vertebrae. They're not easy to heal, and he must still be in some pain, I would think. Wouldn't you guys?
I would imagine so, but I'm sure they're going to fit him with the proper back brace and items like that, so he'll be comfortable. But, boy, what a way to have to come back in a 600-miler.
400 laps,
What they did, they did a test at, was it Wilkesboro or somewhere? And it said it was okay, and they actually dropped the jack, and he sat in the car while they dropped the jack to make sure that because that was the most, So they tested some things to do it, but 600 miles is quite a long way to go coming back.
It is. There's kind of good news out there for Josh Berry, who has been fantastic. Taken over. Remember, he's a rookie in Cup, and he has taken over the 9 car for a handful of races, while Chase was getting over his unfortunate broken bones from doing things he shouldn't have done probably, and then of course for Alex Bowman. Now Josh Berry, good news, just signed this week with Kevin Harvick's agency, a representation by Kevin Harvick. Well, think about that for just a second. Who might Kevin Harvick, if you're going to represent a up-and-coming driver without a ride for next year, and of course, you know yourself that you are retiring after this year, and they're looking everyone over carefully for who would be a good representative and a good driver in the Budweiser number 4 car for next year, and the hot rumor, according to Jordan Bianchi, who's pretty much on top of things here, that it's going to be Josh Berry taking over the number 4 car next year. It makes sense. Dan, I think you said this several weeks ago that this is something we should watch for.
Yeah, I thought it would be a pretty good fit, just because who would replace Harvick, and that's the one car that everybody's wondering who's going to get replaced next year. That's the car everybody kind of wants, and just the way the situation was, the sponsor there, Anheuser-Busch was looking at going maybe to Ross Chastain and Trackhouse, and Chastain probably doesn't have a lot of. He's got a lot of non-fans now. Some people like him, but a lot more people are kind of against him. So there's a little bit of a controversy there, and they're dealing with their own controversy and other things. That a good fit to keep that sponsor and keep that car would be Josh Berry, because he's kind of an old school guy. He came up the old school way that a lot of people don't anymore, and he's not a young guy that just kind of bought his way in. He actually paid his dues.
Junior Johnson, live on this program many years ago, said that he thought a driver hit his peak. Prime peak for driving ability at the age of 32, and I think Josh Berry is 32 years old. So, the other side of the coin is this as good as he'll get? I don't think so. It took him. Think about how long it takes for you to get your head on straight for some drivers. It takes longer than others. Josh Berry is the whole package right now, I think, and it's a slam dunk to put him in that 4 car. and a lovable guy. Don't you think so? I mean, he's a good driver. He's smart. He doesn't say stupid things. He doesn't do stupid things. He doesn't run into people and then have to apologize later like some drivers are doing lately. He's just the whole package, and I think Budweiser would be very well-to-do to have Josh Berry represent their company. So
I'm glad to see it. I mean, it goes to show that hard work and perseverance will do it. I was surprised to see Chevrolet not try to hang on to him, but then again, where's there a place for him to go? And the other surprise I thought was that, they put Cole Custer back in the Xfinity Series for a while with Stuart Haas, thinking maybe he would move up for this spot. So Cole Custer has to be sitting there going, oh boy, there goes my chance at the open ride,
Well,
but then again, he hasn't done anything with the Xfinity Series yet this year. So
if he was winning every week, it would make it much more difficult to hire a different driver. Then you say, well, okay, things are going good in this little endeavor. But he's kind of disappeared. Running up front, but he kind of disappeared. That'll teach you. Besides, that 10 car is not that far away from needing a driver. We'll be back after these messages.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com. The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
We're getting back into it.
Is it the craziest thing in the world to think that the Green Bay Packers could be sitting at 1-4 or 0-5 heading into the bye? Because I don't think it is. And then you open up at Denver coming out of the bye.
Is that daunting? Denver hasn't proven that they're back on track yet.
Two Pros. LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe. Jonas Knox.
Weekday mornings 5 to 8 a.m. on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to LTN. Glad you could join us on this Memorial Day weekend. Spreading the wealth around. The Formula One race from Monaco this morning was on ABC. The Indianapolis 500 is going to be on NBC later. And later yet, the Coca-Cola 600 will be on Fox tonight. That will be 5:20 right now, depending on weather. So we'll just keep an eye on that for that. Oh, and by the way, the E.H. Wolf & Sons Memorial Day special at Slinger Speedway with fireworks is going to be on RacingAmerica.com. Yeah, also. Not the same network as Fox or NBC or any of them, but, you can still watch it.
Outreach Community Health Centers is proud to provide accessible and affordable health care for the entire family, regardless of insurance status. They offer complete primary care for children and infants, immunizations including COVID-19 vaccinations, booster shots, on-site pharmacy, dental care, mental health and emotional support, and more. Further services include assistance with baby items such as clothing, formula, diapers, help with transportation, and locating housing and employment. For more information, visit ochc-milw.org.
That's kind of nice if you're not at the track. It's going to be perfect weather for a race and for fireworks tonight. So come on out to Slinger. You don't have to work tomorrow, do you? That's right. Memorial Day weekend. Dano, Kyle Busch had a interesting article this week. It was in the Speed Sport website. He was asked about what would it take for John Hunter Nemechek to make it back to the Cup Series, and he was pretty blunt about it. He said it's going to take $6 million out of your pocket to get yourself a ride. Isn't that kind of stiff?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the way it's going, and even more so, there's hardly any rides that are around that don't have sponsorship behind them, that aren't kind of bought in a little bit, you know. I think you mentioned Kyle Larson is probably the only one he could think of. I can think of Stuart Haas has got guys over there. I don't think Ryan Preece brought a ton of money. I mean,
if any, yeah.
I don't think Chase Briscoe did it. He's got some backing. I mean, he wasn't nothing, but you know, he's another guy that probably doesn't have a ton behind him. And now if Barry goes over there, that'd be 3 out of your 4. I mean, you have, you know, Amarola there with the Smith Build money, and that.
Yeah. Oddly, when you think about it, I mean, Stewart is a racer, and that it turns out to be his first thing that he's watching for. You got his partner's money, right? Haas?
I remember he made a shot at Kyle Larson, and it was at Ford that turned him down. I mean, Larson could have been there if he would have played.
What a mistake. Honest to God, what a mistake that was. But, everybody's afraid of being politically correct, and thank goodness that didn't bother Mr. Hendrick.
But he did mention a Wisconsin guy. He mentioned. I like the fact that he mentioned in the article that he raced around the country in super late models and other events. And there's a lot of guys out here that have way more talent than some of the guys that bring the money into the sport and in the big time right now. He did mention a few guys that said, "Hey, there's a lot of guys that probably should be here right now, but just didn't get the shot because they didn't have the financial backing."
Oddly enough, he mentioned Scott Hansen's name, the retired ASA/short track star from Muskego. And, of course, I had to call Scott and tell him when I saw the article this morning, and it's like 6 a.m. in Phoenix, and he was awake and he wasn't mad. But, hey, you got to read this article. Okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah. He also mentioned, a modern day example is Bubba Pollard, and we've been talking about Bubba Pollard for years, how diverse he is. He can hop in. He's really good in his asphalt super late model. He can hop in a dirt late model and run that. He owns a racetrack. There's a lot of examples of that all across the country right now, and we talk about it a lot. How it's all about the money you bring in. You have some of these kids that come in that don't really have a whole lot of talent. Let's be honest, that are driving in these series, and then you got the kids that don't have a lot of money but have all the talent in the world and are out there pounding the pavement on the short tracks all across the country. So there's quite the discrepancy out there right now.
A good example of that would be the ASA Stars race from this week. You had an established NASCAR star and the guy who you really want driving your car these days, William Byron, in the position to win that race. And a young guy, what is he, like 16 years old, Ruggiero? I think he's just a real young kid on the last lap. I mean, got to the inside and put his nose into the number on the door and started pushing and pushed Byron up the racetrack and won by 63 thousandths. I guess this is what the problem is with drivers nowadays. They do things that we never saw in the past. I mean, it's a different mindset. On the other hand, here's a star that doesn't need to win a race to get noticed, to get himself put on in a better ride, and you got a kid who shows that he has the wherewithal to not be intimidated with a NASCAR star and to do whatever it takes to win the race. Now, where's the line? You want a guy that races with respect. You also want a guy who is willing to do what it takes to win. He didn't wreck Byron. He just pushed him. And, it's that new way of doing things. I can't say I'm a fan, but I can say that I guess I understand it.
Go ahead, Dan.
I understand it too. It's that's like a video game move to me. It seems like, and in the past, you do that, you probably get your nose broken after the race. That's kind of gone away. So I think guys do more of that. They're not as afraid of the consequences as they used to be in the past. Moving a guy like that. Yeah, you got him this time, but you probably wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the video game mentality that all these kids now are racing on video games, and there are no consequences. You wreck your car in a video game, you don't have to fix it. You hit the wall hard in a video game, you don't get hurt. So these kids are racing, multiple times a day, doing it all on the computers. And yes, you get the sensation of a simulation of racing it, but the consequences aren't there. And I think that's the problem with the computer simulation is, pounding the wall, ringing your bell, or, wrecking somebody else's car who has to pay for it and getting your nose punched in afterwards.
That's what's missing off the video game, the smash in the face afterwards and saying, I assume you're not going to do that to me ever again. Or you realize the next time I race you, you're going out in a second lap, Yeah, that's Gio Ruggiero. Is that Reggie Ruggiero's kid or something?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I have a feeling there's some sort of relation there, but I'm not positive. Hang in there with us. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit BonafideSafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
No racing at the Fair Park in Plymouth this week. Join us as we remember and honor our fallen heroes. Action resumes on Friday, June 2nd with the Dairyland Classic motorcycle races. Then on Saturday, June 3rd, the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars return. $26,000 to win the Race Routine Foundation event. Joining them will be the stars of the IRA and our very own Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA Sprints. Pits open at 2, Grandstand 4:30, packing and hot laps at 5:30. We'll see you there.
It's NASCAR's most challenging event. The Coca-Cola 600.
Trouble, two cars get together. Ryan Preece is sideways with Chris Buescher. Everybody checks up here.
Those four fresh Goodyear shot Chase Elliott out of a cannon on the bottom. He's back out front in the Coca-Cola 600.
Problems along the front stretch.
The Coca-Cola 600. Sunday at 4 p.m. on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the program. There was quite an event last week at North Wilkesboro. All the money that got poured into that place, leaving the surface rough and old and patched and raceable so that the tires would wear out and it become an issue and work into the... It was everything. I mean, it was a spectacular event all the way around. It was really neat to see that place packed. A lot of noise. Everybody was into it. The bad news is that it was an old-fashioned ass-kicking. Kyle Larson was just amazing on that racetrack. They said that it has to do with his versatility on all kinds of racetracks. That I just think he had a perfect car, and they ran a perfect race. I mean, it was pretty impressive, wasn't it, fellas?
Well, he passed every single car on the track, if you think about it, because when the race started, there was an early caution. He pitted. He came out 21st, I believe it was, which I think that they started 24, 21 cars, something like that. He was dead last. So he worked his way through the entire field and passed every single car to win that race and then to go out and just dominate it like that. So, yeah, I mean, the old school theme played out all the way to the end. I mean, there was a lot of old school races at North Wilkesboro where guys won by a lot. I mean, that was common back in the day to see guys win by wide margins, and he did that. And you got to tip your cap to something like that. You just can't, you can't complain about the cars and this and that and the other thing. They hit it right. They were the best car there. They won by a lot. Well done. Take the trophy home, kid.
I saw Jeff Bodine spank the field there at a rain delay race back in 1992. I mean, he was same thing. You couldn't catch him.
Bubba Wallace had a really good race. Finished second. No, it wasn't close. He didn't really have a shot. Even if there had been a late caution, I'm sorry, but Kyle Larson had the field covered by a long shot. But Bubba had overall a very respectable race. Poor Bubba. Why does the drama follow this guy around? First thing that happens is some guy in the stands comes on his radio and called him an ass H, and that he wasn't welcome here. The accounts that I read said that there were racist comments. I think people try to just stir it up more by saying stuff like that. There were no racist comments. It was all "you're just an ass" type of thing. And then Bubba gets out of the car and they're interviewing him, and he whips some guy off while he's being interviewed on television. Later, it was the excuse was he saw a friend of his, and I'm thinking, if that's your that's your friend, how the hell do you say hello to your enemies? Either way, he wasn't penalized for it, but the drama show continues for Bubba.
It's getting kind of old, and it's like, no matter what he does or where he goes or how he does things, there's always got to be a story behind it, and someone's always got to follow it. He can't be covered just like every other person in the sport. Which, if you want to get away from this and you don't want to have the quote-unquote racism stuff going on, then you need to cover him like you cover every other guy in the sport. And they don't do that, because any little thing that happens there, they got to talk about it and blow it up and blow it out of proportion. I mean, I don't know how many other times do people get into other people's scanners. I've never personally heard it, but then again, I don't scan all the channels when I'm at every race. But, I mean, do other people get on there and call other people names every now and then? I would imagine it happens, because it doesn't sound like it's overly difficult to do if you have the right scanner. So, I don't know. I'm just sick of the constant coverage of every little thing that he does when you want him to blend in like everybody else.
The drama follows him around, and if there's no other drama, and then he's his own worst enemy sometimes. I think probably somebody else should be in this car. Well, don't give him any ideas, and that ain't happening, by the way. We threw around those money numbers. He attracts a lot of money, and don't you forget about that. So either way, the team has got better. It has definitely got better. He has improved as a driver, and the fact that those
Outreach Community Health Centers is proud to provide accessible and affordable health care for the entire family, regardless of insurance status. They offer complete primary care for children and infants, immunizations including COVID-19 vaccinations, booster shots, on-site pharmacy, dental care, mental health and emotional support, and more. Further services include assistance with baby items such as clothing, formula, diapers, help with transportation, and locating housing and employment. For more information, visit ochc-milw.org.
Leftovers. Or the DMV.
Number 97.
Or house cleaning. Or
Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Items combined with the fact that he's the only black driver out there, have really turned it up, I think. And it's not exactly what we want to see, but, you might as well figure out that's how things are. So
I think the Tyler Reddick addition to that team has helped a lot, too. If you notice, Tyler Reddick helped Childress when he went over there, and they upped their level of competition a lot once he got there. Now the same thing is happening now that Tyler Reddick's over here. He's helping that team elevate its level. It's unfortunate what happened to Kurt Busch, so we really didn't get to see that play out long term and see what it would have helped him if he was racing every week. But, Tyler Reddick, there's a reoccurring theme here. Wherever he goes, the team gets better, and I think that's big to show what kind of a teammate he is.
And as far as people getting on radios, it's happened before. This isn't the first time somebody's been on somebody's radio. That's actually happened in the past. It really wasn't publicized a lot. I think at Charlotte at one time, people were clearing guys that weren't clear in the stands. That was probably about 15, 20 years ago even. So it's happened in the past. They just didn't make a big deal about it because you really don't want that publicized to know that it can be done, because you don't want copycats doing this. It is a little bit of a danger factor there. You can't, drivers need to hear their spotters. You can't have somebody breaking into their channel. And it's all, they have an analog channel. It's not a digital channel. NASCAR keeps them that way so we can have fans can listen in the stands. Part of the downside is that is possible to break into it.
By all accounts, and from everyone that has ever dealt with Bubba Wallace, he is a very likable guy. He doesn't push any kind of agenda on you. That is being done by the media. He is just a race car driver in his own eyes, and unfortunately, he has been put into a position where he has to not only be a race car driver, he has to represent. And sometimes, you put all those things together, the guy has dealt with some mental issues in the past. Doesn't he have some depression issues that he has to deal, or he has over time? So, put all those things together. I'm interested in how his career is going. He's doing better. I think it's been a long road for him to be on to get to this point, but he's finally hitting where he's competitive every week, which is what any race car driver worth a pinch will tell you the same thing. They just want to be in the mix every week, and then from there, it's all about breaks, strategy, and talent. And I think it's coming together for the kid, and it's good for a sport. What the hell? I don't mind it at all. If you'd like to participate, don't forget that number is 414-421-7901. We'll sneak away and be back.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
No racing at the Fair Park in Plymouth this week. Join us as we remember and honor our fallen heroes. Action resumes on Friday, June 2nd with the Dairyland Classic motorcycle races. Then on Saturday, June 3rd, the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars return. $26,000 to win the Race Routine Foundation event. Joining them will be the stars of the IRA and our very own Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA Sprints. Pits open at 2, Grandstand 4:30, packing and hot laps at 5:30. We'll see you there.
This week on NASCAR Live, Austin Dillon stopped by.
We just got to turn it around. We got to keep fighting, keep scratching to get ourselves in a better points position. The penalty obviously just killed our momentum, and we had bad weeks after that. So we'll have to, get our stuff back together, and I think we got some good runs coming. Obviously, we can turn it around this weekend with the win at the Coke 600.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
It used to be that NASCAR just absolutely hated dealing with state fair boards, and they hated dealing with politicians and all that other sort of thing. And I think over the years, they have changed their ways just a little bit to accommodate markets and that sort of strategy. Let's talk about Chicago and Nashville. Chicago continues to be a hot button issue. The latest thing now out of Chicago, you're going to love this one. All those vendors, there were vendors that were, I guess, selling hot dogs. It must have been more than that. That are in the area of the NASCAR racetrack that have paid good money for a license, who are going to be moved out for the NASCAR weekend, and is going to cost them a significant amount of money. NASCAR is going to pay them off a total of $133,000. One of the vendors is going to get $76,000. The rest will split the rest, I guess. I don't know what else they're selling. Must be more than hot dogs. Just so that goes away. They don't have to listen to that anymore. Oh, you're taking away my ability to sell hot dogs, or whatever they're doing down there. I'm not.
It's regular. It's street vendors that are in the park. If you go to any park across the country, you have the vendors in there that sell this. They sell cotton candy at night. They sell the blinky lights to the kids, especially 4th of July weekend. So I think it's all those vendors that usually have a license to sell in that city park.
Somebody is selling something more than flashing lights for a $76,000 payoff. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but we'll look at that in the future. So Chicago, yeah, they're trying their damnedest to get this thing off and rolling, and it's a 3-year contract. But before the show we were talking about, we know there's going to be 1 year. I think for sure they're going to take a close look at this and see exactly what kind of a cluster it was. Was it worth it? Will it be worth doing all 3 years of the contract? Will Chicago go back on it? Will, NASCAR, I doubt will go back on it. They probably like being in Chicago for the media attention. Being in one of the biggest cities in the world it makes a big difference to them. The other side of the coin, like this weekend, there have been, I forget the amount of shootings, but 8 murders already in Chicago this weekend. And, it's only Sunday morning. By the time tomorrow night rolls around at the end of the holiday weekend, who knows? I mean, it's not where they're going to be racing. 32 shootings and 8 deaths as of this morning in Chicago. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, great. Welcome to Chicago.
One of the other things they're going to add, I saw that they're going to, during the Chainsmokers concert, which is Friday night, they want all the drivers at one point or another to get up on the stage. I'm sure the drivers are pretty enthused about that, don't you think?
and smile, damn it.
Yeah. The good news is they added another sponsor to that for that event now. Xfinity is signed on as one of the presenting sponsors. So this event, both races, neither one of them have a title sponsor because it's called, the Grant Park 120 and whatever the other the Loop 120 and the Grant Park 240 or whatever it is. But McDonald's is already one of the presenting sponsors. Now Xfinity has signed on to be one of the presenting sponsors. So at least they got that going for them. But again, these sponsorships aren't like you see at all the other races because their name is not on the title. So where the money is coming for this event and the costs are getting covered for this is still a big question mark when you don't have all that extra money coming in like you do for a normal race.
And that's just Chicago, folks. Then we go to Nashville, where they're still doing they're trying everything. They're shuffling the amount of people on the board so that it's less of a quorum to pass things. The mayor of Nashville, just like the mayor of Chicago, was elected out after the last election. And so the mayor of Nashville wants to rubber stamp the approval for the NASCAR event at the fairgrounds before he leaves office. And is all that on the up and up? I don't know. I haven't followed that, Nashville politics close enough. But, NASCAR used to avoid this sort of thing, I guess is my point. And suddenly they're not avoiding it so much anymore. They're going right smack dab in the middle of it. So I think a little bit of that also goes to State Fair Park, with the Truck Series coming back here in Wisconsin this year. So,
And the Nashville one is more of a common sense approach there. That place, they're going to redo the place, revamp it, make it look better. It's an existing racetrack that has always been there. So that's one that, yes, there's a couple squeaky neighbors and people around it that don't like racing, that, no, not my backyard, all that kind of crap. But so I can kind of see where this guy doesn't want the wrong, person getting in there and try to lose this great opportunity they have at an existing racetrack. So it's kind of on both sides of the spectrum here. You have Chicago, where they're, that's a complete, screw up show there, that looks like. But then you have Nashville, which is an existing one. So it's interesting to see how these two sides play out here, because we'd really like to see the Nashville one succeed. That looks like an outstanding plan they have there.
Oh, absolutely. And, it doesn't cost. I mean, yes, there's referendums and there's some tax money that goes in it. And any time, for any reason, that there's tax money getting thrown around, that's when we have a public debate, and it's a legitimate public debate. A little bit like, didn't American Family Field, didn't we get over all the drama with the money years ago? And now are we talking about paying more than what it costs to build the stadium for upgrades? Is it that bad to you?
Good question. But everything costs more now.
Yeah, everything costs more, I guess. How can you put the same amount of money back into it? That just doesn't make any sense to me. But, I'm not an engineer, and I don't play one on the radio, so that's the way things are. We're glad you tuned in. This is LTN. It's a beautiful weekend for racing between Formula at Monaco, Indy 500, the Coca-Cola 600, Slinger tonight, and we're talking about all of it on this program, and we'd love for you to join us. We're going to sneak away for a break. We'll be back with some results from around the world of dirt track and selected pavement racing right after these messages.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Corey Heim on the outside, Carson Hocevar on the inside.
Heads back to the Midwest.
Trouble on the back straightaway. It's a chain reaction, and it started with Tyler Ankrum.
To Worldwide Technology Raceway.
White flag is in the air. Next flag will end it. Kyle Larson is long gone and looking for the checkered flag.
It's the Toyota 200.
Saturday, coverage starts at noon on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And now the LTN
LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Huge week of dirt track racing across Wisconsin and the upper Midwest, and beautiful weather for it. We'll start Tuesday at Beaver Dam. The IMCA Modifieds Marcus Hopner was your winner. The IMCA stock cars, that went to Kenny Richards. Also Tuesday in Busty, New York, the State Line Speedway for the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models. Nick Hoffman got the win. We moved to Thursday night, Spring Valley, Minnesota, Deer Creek Speedway for the USMTS 3-day spectacular up there. 3,000 to win Thursday night. Rodney Sanders was your winner. Hartford, Ohio, Dave Blaney's Sharon Speedway for the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models. That went to Chris Madden. Also Thursday night, Wheatland, Missouri, night number 1 for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Big Show Me 100. Jonathan Davenport got the preliminary feature there. Friday night, Outagamie County Speedway, the Dirt Kings Late Model Series. 35 late models showed up for that. How about a turnout of cars? That's pretty good for this side of the state for dirt late models. Mike Mullen got the win. IMCA Modifieds went to Johnny Whitman, and the stock cars went to Brandon Sharapata. Chilton Friday night at Gravity Park in the Modifieds, Marcus Hopner. That's his second win of the week. He's having a good week. Grand Nationals went to Maverick Rue, his first ever feature win. And the stock cars was Travis Stadler. Jim Falls, Wisconsin, Friday night, Eagle Valley Speedway in the Modifieds, Shane Halapka. Up at Superior, Gondik Law, the Wissota Modifieds, Shane Sabrowski. Night number 2 at Deer Creek for the USMTS Mods, 5,000 to win this time. Rodney Sanders won again. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, the Williams Grove Speedway for the All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars Friday night. Lance DeWeese got the win. Over in Chillicothe, Ohio, the Atomic Speedway for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Brad Sweet got the win. Farmer City, Illinois, Friday night, the Mars Dirt Car Series, $5,000 a win. The ageless wonder Billy Moyer picked up a win. It's been a while since he got a feature win. Congratulations to Billy on the win there. In the UMP Mods, it was Tyler Nicely. Hartford, Ohio, the Sharon Speedway, night number 2 for the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models. Ryan Gustin got the win. Night number 2 of the Show Me 100. Jonathan Davenport won again. And also Friday night, Brownsburg, Indiana. This is on the pavement, the Lucas Oil Raceway Park, the Hoosier 100. That race was, for years, held at the Indiana State Fairgrounds Mile Oval. That closed, so they had to move it to the pavement. $26,000 to win, and Bobby Santos got the win there. Saturday night. Last night, Plymouth had the night off, as you've heard in our ads. Next week is the big all-star race there, but Francis Crick did run the 141 Speedway in the modified Sean Kilgore. Stock cars Chase Parker, and the Grand Nationals was Nick Schumacher. Up at Shawano last night, the Dirt King late models, Nick Envelink got the win. In the IMCA Modifieds, Lucas Lambries. The stock cars was Travis Van Stratton. Down at Wilmot, the IRA Sprint Cars, a great feature there. If you got to see highlights of it on Flow, Blake Nimme held off Jordan Goldsberry and Bill Baylog for the IRA feature win. The MSA 360 Sprints went to Brandon McMullen, and the Badger Midgets was Adam Taylor. Over at Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin, the USRA Limited Late Models, Larry Fitzsimmons was your winner. Up at Rice Lake, the Wissota Late Models went to Chad Mader. Ashland, Wisconsin, the ABC Raceway in the Wissota Mods, Brandon Kopp. Tomahawk opened up their season last night. The USRA Limited Late Models, Jared Curtin got the win. Over at Spring Valley, Minnesota, the final night of the USMTS Modified event, Brandon Davis picked up the $10,000 prize there. Port Royal, the All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprints, Anthony Macri picked up the win. He won by over 9 seconds on a half-mile dirt track. Talk about ass whippings. We have a theme going on here with those going on lately. So Anthony Macri got the win there. Chillicothe, Ohio, night number 2 for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Carson Macedo was your winner. Down in Anderson, Indiana, on the pavement, the Lucas Oil Little 500 for the non-wing sprint cars. Jake Trainer.
Did you see
First time. What's that?
See that story? He's an 18-year-old rookie. It's only his second start in a sprint car.
Yes, second ever, and he won the biggest race there is, the Little 500, so congratulations to him. Down at Fairbury, the Mars Dirt Car Series 5,000 win, that went to Jason Fager. Hartford, Ohio, the Sharon Speedway for the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models, Chris Madden. And finally, the big prize of the weekend was the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Show Me 100, $50,000 to win that feature event. Ricky Thornton Jr. crossed the line first. However, he had a chain break, and when they did the droop rule, you can only have so many inches of your deck height. I believe it's 56, and he did not pass that because the chain broke. That gave the win to Devin Moran. Devin Moran needed a win in a big way. He's had a rough start to the year since Speed Week, so congratulations to him.
$50,000 penalty for that?
Yeah, but you got to feel bad for Ricky Thornton Jr. Rules are rules. You know, a part failure is a rules failure, so it sucks for Ricky Thornton, but he'll be back.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess. The world of asphalt racing, and thanks to Paul Reichert for the results. Starting Thursday at Wisconsin International Raceway up in Kaukauna. In the super late models, Sawyer Efforts was your winner. In the late models, it was Todd Verhagen. The ASA National Tour ran, the Stars Tour ran. That's the one we were talking about at Hickory. Gio Ruggiero was your winner as he put a fender right into William Byron's door, pushed him up the track, and went on to win. Pretty exciting finish either way, I'll tell you. Friday night at Grundy, the super late models ran, and it was Dean Patterson, your winner. At Madison,
Outreach Community Health Centers is proud to provide accessible and affordable health care for the entire family, regardless of insurance status. They offer complete primary care for children and infants, immunizations including COVID-19 vaccinations, booster shots, on-site pharmacy, dental care, mental health and emotional support, and more. Further services include assistance with baby items such as clothing, formula, diapers, help with transportation, and locating housing and employment. For more information, visit ochc-milw.org.
Leftovers. Or the DMV.
Number 97.
Or house cleaning. Or
Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
they had NASCAR late models were there. They had twin features. Zach Riddle won both of them. At Norway in the super late models, Joey Pontbriand was your winner. At Toma, it was the Midwest Dash Series. Tim Anderson won that one. ARCA ran at Charlotte on Friday night. Jesse Love won his third straight race. Former Slinger Speedway winner. I like throwing that in there. Last night at Dells Raceway Park, the CWRA late models ran. And it was the Nabafelt Memorial Race. Corey Jankowski, there's a name, used to win all the time and we haven't heard his name for a while. He won that one. In the pro late models, Matt Urban. Yeah, that's the same guy that raced at Slinger in the 4 cylinders. He's got himself a late model. Dan, I guess he's bringing it to Slinger tonight?
Sounds like he's going to be there tonight, coming off the big win at the Dells. That was his first win.
First win for Matt Urban. How about that? At Elko in Minnesota, the NASCAR late models had twin features. Colin Stocker and Jake Ryan won those. At Jefferson, it was the ASA Midwest Tour. Dan, you were there holding the camera for the video, I guess, right?
Sure was. And a pretty good race. Jake Nottestad led a lot of it. Towards the end, Gabe Summers was pretty quick, a little bit faster. They were going to battle with less than 10 laps to go. Kind of got into each other. Both spun. And open the door for Dalton Zier to take the win.
Dalton Zier, your winner. And is he racing any more this weekend, or is that it for Dalton? Do we know? I guess not.
Sands on Monday.
Okay. At La Crosse last night, the NASCAR late model, Skylar Holzhausen was your winner. At Rockford, also NASCAR late models, Dennis Smith Jr., the winner. The Cars Tour ran at Tri-County Motor Speedway in Granite Falls, North Carolina. In the late model stock cars, Butterbean himself, Brendan Queen, was your winner. Other drivers of note, Carson Quapple finished 3rd. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was there, finished 8th. Daniel Suarez 10th. In the pro late models, Carson Quapple was your winner, and his younger brother, Caden Quapple, finished 3rd. William Sawalich was down there and finished 11th. Last Sunday night at the Slinger Super Speedway, it was not a night race, it was an afternoon race, and what a show it was, right down to the checkered flag. Steve Apel and Jacob Nottestad traded paint, traded positions, didn't wreck each other. There was plenty of contact. It was full contact racing. Steve won it by how much, Dan? It was a photo finish, really. It was very, very close.
0.063 seconds, I think it was.
There you go. And Nottestad ends up second. Dennis Prunty, I don't even know where he came from. Everybody was watching up front, not paying close attention to Dennis, and he snuck into 3rd place in that one. Pretty good. R.J. Braun led most of that thing, and right at the in the last green flag period, he faded a little bit. Not sure exactly what happened there. But either way, tonight, it's the E.H. Wolf Memorial Day special. We've got fireworks for you, and we're looking forward to having everybody out to Slinger Speedway tonight, and because you don't have to go to work tomorrow. That's how that works. LTN returns right after these.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines. Just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs, all backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with 8 adults. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
No racing at the Fair Park in Plymouth this week. Join us as we remember and honor our fallen heroes. Action resumes on Friday, June 2nd with the Dairyland Classic motorcycle races. Then on Saturday, June 3rd, the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars return. $26,000 to win the Race Routine Foundation event. Joining them will be the stars of the IRA and our very own Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA Sprints. Pits open at 2, Grandstand 4:30, packing and hot laps at 5:30. We'll see you there.
It's NASCAR's most challenging event. The Coca-Cola 600.
Trouble, two cars get together. Ryan Priest is sideways with Chris Buescher. Everybody checks up here.
Those four fresh Goodyear shot Chase Elliott out of a cannon on the bottom. He's back out front in the Coca-Cola 600.
Problems along the front stretch.
The Coca-Cola 600. Sunday at 4 p.m.
on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And welcome back to LTN. This is the second straight sellout in the Coca-Cola /World 600. So that's pretty cool. They took seats out of there. That's one of the ingredients into sellouts nowadays. It seems like, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, but I mean that's all right. You know, you got to make it a tougher ticket, and they're more quality seats too. You know, there was always that big old tower over in turn 3. You couldn't see pit road. You couldn't see any of that stuff, or I should say turn 2. So, you know, it's better to have better quality seats and make it a tougher ticket to get, and that increases the value of it, and people will want to come.
Hey, Brian, I wanted to say something. Next week is Motorcycle Weekend up at Road America. It's the next big event, and you've been out there already before. They've actually added a new pathway, haven't they, behind the carousel? It looks like they call it the beach, and they actually got palm trees back there. I got to check that out when we get up there.
Yes, the carousel, now you can go on the outside of the carousel. You can go all the way around to the back side of the carousel where there was that pedestrian bridge that went over the outside of the carousel to where the kink is going to be for the motorcycles. That's actually going to be a really good spot for the motorcycles next week. But they put all sand there, and you can kind of sunbathe back there, and it's kind of a secluded little area. So it'll be interesting to see what it is. But if you've never seen motorcycles at Road America, I saw them for the first time 2 years ago. They are pretty exhilarating, and those guys are crazy.
That's pretty good. Brian, back to your point about making a less seating to make it more valuable. I don't know if you guys saw this, but you know, the word is that the Oakland A's baseball team is moving to Las Vegas in a couple of years when their lease is finally completely gone. And the new stadium that they're planning on building in Las Vegas for baseball is going to be 30,000 seats. That right there will tell you something about making those seats more valuable. The price will go up because of that, and I guess that must be what the whole idea is. But can you imagine building a brand new state-of-the-art facility and having only 30,000 seats in there? You know, I thought asses in the seats is what paid the bills. Why wouldn't it be 50,000 like stadiums have been in the past? Because they don't take the chance of having it look empty.
Yeah, and if your ticket, you know, if that one seat is $20, but instead the cheapest ticket will now be $40, you're doubling the cost of it, and you're getting more people in there, and that's the idea behind it. And if you look at the average attendance for Major League Baseball, I would say your average attendance across the board is probably in the 30 range. So I would imagine that's what they're looking at, for to put that in there. Yeah, they don't like the look of empty seats, and they'd rather have more people in there paying $40 than people paying $20. It's unfortunate for the people on a budget that you're going to price yourself right out of it, but that's just seems to be the way it's going across all facets of sports, with the exception of the NFL, I would say.
Las Vegas being that. Go ahead, Dan.
So there's 30,000 seats. How many suites are there?
Yeah, there'll be plenty of suites. Oh, yeah, guaranteed. And, Las Vegas being the transient kind of a crowd that it would be, they're counting on people from, when the Brewers play the A's, that a bunch of people go out and, hey, let's go to Vegas for the weekend. We'll catch a ball game or two and, spend a bunch of money in the casino. I think that's what the whole key to the thing is. So, there's something about this less seating. Hey, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the great what is it called, the something 56, that experimental thing from between NASCAR and Hendrick?
Yeah, it's Garage 56. It's the entry.
Garage 56. Jimmy Johnson will be the primary driver of this car, which is going to race at Le Mans. Mike Rockenfeller, Jensen Button, and Jordan Taylor, who all have recent experience driving a stock car in NASCAR, are going to be part of the experiment at Le Mans. And Jimmy Johnson leaves as soon as he's done racing in the World 600. Johnson is in it. Starts last, by the way, today, because they went by the metric and he had nothing to no points to really fall back on. So he starts last today, 37th. But he's going to be heading straight. There is a rookie orientation that he has to attend, and that's coming up soon, June 10th and 11th at Le Mans. So interesting right there, no doubt. I don't know if anybody saw this, but Kyle Larson is they have found another sponsor for Kyle Larson in the number 5 car. It's not racist. Whatever you think, it's not racist. But Kyle Larson, who is 25% Japanese, is going to be sponsored by the Jinya Ramen Bar. I don't know much about it, but I'm
never heard of it.
I'm pretty sure we're going to learn about it in the near future. Yeah, one of his grandparents is Japanese, so there you go. Jinya Ramen Bar, Chevrolet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hey, thanks for tuning in and making us just a little part of your Memorial Day weekend. Try to keep in mind what the celebration is all about. It's not grilling in the backyard or watching races. It's about tip of the hat to those who have given the ultimate sacrifice to defend our country. Thanks for being here, and don't forget, we like people to remember that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey. For all of us, we're thinking about Ed Kluka. Hope you get better, my friend. And we'll see you at Slinger Speedway tonight. Adios.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Outreach Community Health Centers is proud to provide accessible and affordable health care for the entire family, regardless of insurance status. They offer complete primary care for children and infants, immunizations including COVID-19 vaccinations, booster shots, on-site pharmacy, dental care, mental health and emotional support, and more. Further services include assistance with baby items such as clothing, formula, diapers, help with transportation, and locating housing and employment. For more information, visit ochc-milw.org.